In this lesson, we're going to cover authorization. Authorization in cybersecurity pertains to the permissions and privileges that are granted to users or entities after they've been authenticated. While authentication is all about verifying the identity, authorization is all about determining what that identity is allowed to do within a given system. Think of it as the difference between entering a secure building with an access card, which is your way of being authenticated, and being allowed to enter a specific room or floor within that building, which is where you're being authorized to enter. This concept of who is allowed inside and who is kept out has been an integral part of societal structures for centuries. For example, in today's digital world, almost everyone has the right permissions to access a social media platform, but only a few select users, like system administrators or content moderators, have the rights to access the backend systems or the underlying user data. This selective access ensures that only those with the necessary permissions can enter the more sensitive or restricted portions of that website or platform. So, while many users might have access to a given system or application, their roles within that system will be determining the actions that they can perform, the data they can view or modify, and the areas they can access. Now, authorization mechanisms range from role-based to rule-based to attribute-based controls in order to determine what permissions each user is going to be given. Authorization mechanisms are important for us to protect our sensitive data, to maintain our system integrity, and to streamline the user experience too. First, let's talk about authorization in order to protect our sensitive data. By controlling who can access what, authorization ensures that sensitive or confidential data is accessible only to those with the proper clearance. Let's consider a network used by a hospital system. While a nurse might have access to the patient's vitals, only specific doctors or specialists might be authorized to alter treatment plans or prescribe medication using that system. As a patient, we may only be allowed to view some of the information from our records, but we may be prevented from reading the doctor's personal notes in our medical records as well because we're not authorized to do that. Second, we use authorization to maintain the system integrity inside of our organizations. Authorization can help prevent accidental or deliberate system misconfigurations or data alterations by only providing the ability to change those things to well-trained and experienced system administrators. For example, at my company, several of us are able to view financial reports for the company, but only a few people, like our accountants or financial officers, are authorized to input any transactions or to make changes to the existing data in our accounting software. Third and finally, we use authorization to create more streamlined user experiences. By providing users with only the options and data relevant to their role, systems can offer a more streamlined and user-friendly experience. For example, since you're a student in this course, you can see the course drastically differently than I do as an instructor. This is because I have additional access rights that you simply don't have, like the ability to upload new videos, edit the quiz questions, add new practice exam questions, and things like that. On the other hand, since you're a student, you can take those quizzes and practice exams using an interactive environment that I, as the instructor, simply don't have access to. So remember, when you think about authorization, I want you to envision it as a set of rules and policies that are used to dictate what actions users or entities can perform once their identity is verified. It's the system's way of saying, now that I know who you are, here's what you're allowed to do. In a digital environment where data protection and system integrity are paramount, authorization is going to serve as our gatekeeper to ensure that the right people have the right access for the right things.